Dillian the Body Snatcher White here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Okay, so Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, the WBC and Ring Magazine heavyweight world champion, has explained why he believes Anthony Joshua should step aside and allow him to go fight Oleksandr Usyk instead. And this is what Tyson Fury had to say. If Joshua goes in again and loses, which I think he will, that fight's dead in the water for me. But if he lets me fight Usyk and I batter Usyk, then I'd come back and batter him as well. Tyson Fury's statement 2, the Boxing Lowdown. Now, there's a whole multitude of ways of looking at this one. And I think it depends on what kind of boxing fan you are as to what you think should be happening. Okay, so if you're a Usyk fan, if you're a Joshua fan, a Fury fan, a Dillian Whyte fan, because obviously these four are in the mix right now, depends on how you look at it. Okay, so we're going to go through all the potential ways of looking at it. Okay, now, should Anthony Joshua step aside? If he does, Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk, undisputed heavyweight world championship. Okay, that's great. A lot of people want to see undisputed, of course. Would that be a big mega fight compared to Joshua fighting Usyk or Fury fighting Dillian Whyte? No, I don't think it would be. It would be a big fight, of course it would, but it wouldn't be as big as those two particular fights anyway. So there is that way of looking at it. Also, Anthony Joshua, let's look at it from Anthony Joshua's standpoint. Does he walk away knowing that, firstly, he could earn absolutely millions, of course, like he did with Andy Ruiz Jr. rematch. He earned more from the rematch than he did the first fight, okay? In this one, obviously, he's got a contract with Oleksandr Usyk. The contract will be quite favourable to Anthony Joshua. Would it be the A side, the B side? We don't know, as far as the finances are concerned. Is it a financial move for Anthony Joshua? Well, that's on him. But he could well be looking at it and thinking, but he beat me. I've shared the ring for 12 rounds. My tactics were totally wrong on this one. Now I know what to do to beat Oleksandr Usyk. It's not even about the belts. It's not about the money. It's about him. I want him. So there's that way of looking at it. There's also the other way of looking at it as well. Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk is a mega fight. Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury is a mega fight. So that's two mega fights where the winners could go fight each other. Let's look at it from, say, Dillian Whyte's perspective. So if Tyson Fury goes and fights Usyk, and let's just say he beats Usyk, then he goes and fights Anthony Joshua, well, that's two more occasions where Dillian Whyte isn't going to get his world title shot, when it should be next. He's been messed around long enough. So there's that way of looking at it, isn't there? So again, he's been frozen out. Why is Tyson Fury trying to do all he can to not fight Dillian Whyte? Let's look at it from another standpoint. We could look at it and say, well, Tyson Fury, he had the opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua. And he did, for undisputed. But he didn't want to pay, according to Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder wanted $20 million to step aside. Fury's own words. Well, pay Deontay Wilder, the guy who you've already beaten twice already. Okay, officially one was a draw, the first one, but most people feel he beat him twice already. Pay him the $20 million, go fight Joshua, earn $100 million for the first fight, another $100 million for the rematch. Guaranteed money. You could look at it, especially from Joshua's perspective, and say, well, you didn't fight me. Why would I do you a favour when you didn't do one for me? Because, of course, it also hurt Anthony Joshua's pocket as well. Joshua, as much as he gets paid very, very well, would not have got paid as much for fighting Usyk as what he did against Tyson Fury. You could look at it as well. Joshua could look at it and go, I wanted to fight you for undisputed, but you want to go fight this guy who you've defeated twice already, and I had no choice but to go fight Usyk. I lost to Usyk. And the reason why I lost, outside of I didn't get it right on fight night, is because I had no choice but to fight him, and that's your fault. You put me in that situation when you could have been the one to fight me. You could be the one sat there right now as undisputed. Or I could. However, styles make fights. Because again, you could look at it, because we do know what Tyson Fury is like, and let's all be honest about it. With his track record, he changes his mind more often than the wind changes direction. He'll say this, he'll go fight Usyk, he beats Usyk, and I think most people would agree, stylistically, he should beat Usyk. Tyson Fury, due to his style, his size, his reach, his speed, all that kind of stuff, he should beat the smaller man in Usyk. He should, in theory. Usyk isn't as heavy-handed or as gung-ho as, say, a Dillian Whyte, for example. Fury would have an easier night's work against Usyk than what he would with Dillian Whyte. But Tyson Fury defeating Usyk, does that mean Tyson Fury defeats Joshua because Usyk defeated Joshua? No, of course not. That's not how boxing works. I know people wish that's how boxing worked, but unfortunately it doesn't. You've heard that old saying, styles make fights. So as I said, there's a whole plethora of ways of looking at it. For me personally, my personal view would be Anthony Joshua rematches Usyk, Tyson Fury fights Dillian Whyte, and the winner of those two fights, whomever it may be, fight undisputed. All we're doing is waiting one more fight. What's the difference? For me, Fury versus Usyk, not really the kind of fight that I would be excited about. Yeah, sure, it's got undisputed, of course. Of course, I'll watch it, and of course I'll click that red button for the pay-per-view. But to be honest, I'd rather watch Joshua get revenge on Usyk. I believe he will. Could I be wrong on that one? Of course I could be wrong on that one. Of course. Of course. But I'd rather see Joshua go fight Usyk, and I'd rather see Tyson Fury fight Dillian Whyte. There's no more messing about then, is there? Then the winner of both fights will fight for undisputed, and they are legitimately undisputed, but also can be seen as the best in the heavyweight division. Because at the minute, there's still unanswered questions, isn't there? There is. Could Dillian Whyte defeat Tyson Fury? Maybe Tyson Fury is afraid of Dillian Whyte because he's refused to fight him. He's made every excuse not to fight him. Could Anthony Joshua defeat Tyson Fury? Could Tyson Fury defeat Anthony Joshua? Could Anthony Joshua defeat Dillian Whyte? Could Dillian Whyte defeat Oleksandr Usyk? Could Oleksandr Usyk defeat Dillian Whyte? There's so many different answers. For this way, at least you just have the semi-final, Joshua versus Usyk, Fury versus Whyte, winner fights the winner for undisputed. That's my thoughts, and I think it's a fair way of doing it too. Anyway, maybe you have something different to say, and that's cool. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.